Strippers of Reddit. What do you really think of the people that see you perform? Ex-stripper. The guys that came in and knew the deal were great. Tip the girl on stage. Get a lap dance. Be polite. The worst were the guys that thought they were smarter than the strippers or that they could somehow game us. Like, one guy I remember went on a whole rant about how smart he was because he could tell it was all fake and the girls weren't really attracted to the men. Yeah dude, you're a genius. Or when they think they're funny by degrading the women. It's not funny and you're the one that looks bad. Honestly, for the most part one didn't think about the guys much at all. I was on autopilot most of the time and didn't judge them any more than thinking who looks interested in a private dance or who was a douchebag I wanted to avoid. I don't mean to be rude, but genuine question. What would you think if a lesbian booked you for a lap dance? Totally fine. Lots of couples too. I didn't care who was getting the dance, as long as they were paying, respectful, and enjoying themselves. Are okay. I always wanted to go, but thought it might be weird, since I'm a woman too, lol. Throwaway for obvious reasons. My $0.02 is that, if someone wants a good time with a stripper, just be really respectful of boundaries, and remember that they are working. I'm going through a bit of a rough time personally lately, and was at a bachelor party recently. I'm not really a lap dance guy, but one seemed really nice, and I've been needing a little closeness, so I threw caution to the wind, and threw down a few hundred to spend some time in the VIP room. We chatted a bunch before she got started. I made sure to ask if everything was okay before proceeding to touch anything, and I said that I just wanted to pay ahead of time and enjoy the fantasy of feeling special and wanted. After my time was up we cuddled and talked for maybe another 30 minutes. She was legit very nice, and even though I know she was just doing her job, she had a great personality and made me feel special. At the end of the day I think I was just very respectful, helped define and observed our boundaries, and I was clear with what I needed. Some personal intimacy, even if it was just a fantasy. Maybe this all sounds sad and makes me a loser, but I got what I needed out of that visit. Not every customer there is just looking to grab boobs and grind on you. Some are just sad men that need to feel wanted. When I was leaving she grabbed me for a hug before I went and told me her real name and her other job, fitness instructor. She invited me out to take some classes with her, though being clear that she didn't want anything non-platonic, which is fine by me. She was just a person that I met briefly once, but it was an encounter that I needed, and it will probably stick with me for a long time. You get your share of creeps, but mostly where I worked a long time ago. A lot of young groups of guys just looking for a good time. Every once in a while you have someone who has too good of a time and gets rowdy and acts like an idiot. Granted I only work 2 to 3 nights a week. People who dance full time, especially during the day, have a whole different kind of crowd to deal with. But customers are generally all the same, just looking for something to distract them from life for a while. Feels like a lifetime ago that I danced. My husband and I go together now every once in a while to get a private dance for a while, and it's way more fun being on the other side. I loved the young guys who just wanted to have a fun night out and were also respectful. Was lucky enough to come across a few groups like this during my stripper years. I loved the ones who were nervous. In the city where I worked customers were allowed to touch us anywhere except our crotch/booty hole. This adorable early 20s guy was so excited, like, is it okay if I touch your butt? Can I kiss your butt? He was such a gentle person, it was so cute. Montreal I guess? Generally depends on what kind of customer that person is really. The best kind is a dude who understands that it is all a game. They tip well, they are sociable and polite, may even be regulars with certain girls, and are never a problem. The entire club staff loves guys like this. The ones that the dancers hate. The I don't pay for dances guy who thinks that line will somehow make him desirable for dancers. Captain Save-A-Ho, his trademark line goes something like, you are too beautiful/smart/amazing to be doing this. If you get with me, you can leave this behind. The pimps that go around asking the girls if they want to make some real money are real pieces of shit as well. Then there was the ones that I really had a personal dislike for, the dudes who would try and wait in the parking lot at the end of the night because Cinnamon and I really had a connection, you know? She told me to wait for her. No she didn't, buddy. If Cinnamon told you that, she did so knowing that I would be kicking everybody out of the parking lot before the dancers left for the evening. The strip club industry is a weird place. Source: longtime strip club bouncer. Captain Save-A-Ho. My second favorite superhero behind Florida Man. Depends on the person. I've had stalkers follow me home. Creeps who tried to get violent with me at work. People who pissed me off. I've also met some really wonderful people I'm fine with calling my friends. I just had a baby and invited 2 ex-customers to my baby shower in June. Edit. Holy cow, this is my highest rated comment ever. Thanks for all of the well wishes and replies, everyone. You all brightened up my afternoon. Ex-stripper here. Most of them were cool. We had one old guy named Cummer Steve that would get dances from the new girls and whip his dick out and jizz in their hair. He always had $300 in his wallet that he would hand over before they made him leave. Occasionally a doucher bag would come in, but they got handled pretty quickly. I once had a guy hold up a $5 bill and ask what he could get for that. I cheerfully snatched it out of his hand and told him that he could watch my ass as I walked away. Wait, hold up. How did Cummer Steve not get kicked out? Edit. Haha guys, he has $300. I was referring more so to the fact that strip clubs generally don't appreciate men touching the girls, much less splurging on them. That's a great question, isn't it? When the owners of the strip club are connected, you just don't ask too many questions. I had a coworker who used to strip, and she told me a lot of them had shady shit going on with the owners, even in the super upscale ones. Pretty much. I always just assumed that it was money laundering, but I pretty much just kept my mouth shut, did my work, and didn't ask too many questions. Ex-stripper here. Of course I encountered all different types, but I'm here to mention one type in particular, my favorite. There were a lot of customers who were lonely or didn't have anyone to talk to who would really listen to them. They figured out that they could come in and pay for company. I would sit at the table with one of my regulars for a few hours and just talk. I made a point of showing that I valued them as a person and was genuinely interested in their conversation. He knew that he was taking up my time and every so often would hand me another bill. I didn't pity them. I respected them for figuring out a way to engage with other humans and satisfy their need for connection. This needs more attention. It's wholesome. Sometimes that's all someone wants/needs. I'm a barber and some of the longer services my club offers I don't do, but some guys book them just so we can sit and talk. People just really want to be listened to now and then. Was male stripper for a bit. My opinion, it's all types for all reasons. Passing judgment on folks generally just makes you less approachable. There are good folks who like gyrating naked people, but are awkward socially and have lots of money. Creepy is still creepy. Considerate is still considerate. Only difference is I'm not wearing pants. If a male stripper is at least a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10, how often could they get laid in a week? Asking the real questions. I want to know too though. Every night. If that's your prerogative. I think it depends. I see all of the guys as potential for money. If you're rude to me, or if you sit at the bar and don't tip, then I think poorly of you. The only time I went to a strip club was with friends after a casino trip. I didn't have much to start with, but lost most of what I brought. So I hung at the bar, because I didn't have a choice. It was either bar or stage. And I wasn't about to watch performance and not tip. I hope they like what I'm doing, and that they spend a lot of money on me, and we have a good time. What is a good time for you? Making money, the dancing itself, seeing guys horny, former stripper, dancing and fun conversation. If the guys are respectful and having a good time, then I'm having a good time. For me, being a stripper was just being a sexy entertainer. Ex-male stripper here. Edit. I misunderstood the question and erased what I originally wrote. Excuse me. The customers? It depends. In general, I saw a lot of lonely people. I never felt too bad for them because dancing is a humbling experience. I mean, after all, I'm the one dancing for money. I don't think I ever looked down on them either. Also saw a lot of creepy people. When I first started dancing, other dancers would help me out in situations with the creepier customers. I had an older gentleman who you could say stalked me for a bit. My first interaction with him was holding his hand while I danced, and he put money in my G-string. A coworker of mine grabbed my hand and pulled me away. They would also walk me out to my ride because he used to wait outside and proposition me for further activities. I always declined. Creepy people come in all forms. I think the worst ones are the good looking customers that know they are good looking and they have a lot of money, so they think they can get away with anything. I've lost some considerable sized tips from telling people like that to fuck off. Edit 2. I'd also have to mention I did the whole thing about an hour away from where I grew up. I always had this funny thought in the back of my head, like, what if my friends and classmates saw me now? Was a fun industry. Glad I'm out.